Right, so we're on episode 3 now. I'm so sorry I have to do this. I'm so sorry. At some point I won't have to do it. So this card, as the outcome, is that there is a massive, it's clear, through now the publicity, the leakages, whatever things are in place to rumble this abuse of power, there's a massive attempt now to temper the information that was put out to the extreme in a fear-mongering manner during COVID. The outcome is that people's extreme fears, extreme versions of what COVID was all about is hopefully going to be tempered by, well, I say hopefully, the outcome says it's going to be tempered. This is a tempering of what the likes of Matt Hancock left in people's awareness about COVID and what it was all about. And there's no time being wasted to do this. The Chariot card is about people of the Chariot card as their archetype are people that are justice seeking, will fight to the very end for justice. They have no fear. They'll get into the Chariot and they'll charge for justice. And this here is a mini Wheel of Fortune. And that mini Wheel of Fortune is basically this is what this is doing. This whole situation where the leakages have happened now, and even the Daily Telegraph is. I've had a look on the various other news items that they were reporting on, and quite a good few damning headlines in the Telegraph of the articles that the journalists have been making and calling it out for what many of us were already calling out at the time. So this Chariot is now, it's got a job to do and he's not stopping until he gets that job done, just the same as the Knight of Swords. Truth-seeking, justice-wielding Knight of Swords, and the Chariot is bringing in the big boys now, the heavies. That Chariot's not going anywhere except for in the direction of truth and to put right the injustice and to try and turn the Wheel of Fortune, the fate, into the direction of balance, to balance out people's faulty, misguided knowledge that they were fed by all that fear-mongering and bombarding of propaganda in the news. So this is very much about righting wrongs and fighting for justice. And people with Chariot archetypes also are determined and they're focused and they don't let up until they actually get where they intended to get. And then the other advisory card is that we're on the dawn of a new cycle, a new way. We're on the dawn, and this is also challenging people to start relying on themselves. The fool steps off onto a journey without knowing necessarily, having a map, and without knowing what's going to come. But the fool knows that inside him or her, with the life experiences and the soul experiences from incarnation after incarnation, they have everything they need. And that little bag there at the end of a stick is symbolic of having your bag of tools to help you to navigate yourself on your journey. So we're with this Chariot and with the Knight of Swords and with this whole energy to expose publicly the truth and the reality, the dark secrets and the abuse of power. With all of that comes the tempering of the extreme fear and extreme fearful opinions and information that had lodged in people's minds, and the beginning of a new a new way of going forward, basically, where people start to rely on their own intuition. They start to rely on their own inner soul wisdom and their own wisdom from their life they've lived. So they don't forget about that in favour of what they're being told by some corrupt politician. They actually dig into themselves, and they steer themselves through their life without needing to know what the rules are, without needing to be following a roadmap set out for them by somebody else. So in a nutshell, that's that. I'm going to, hang on a minute. I'm going to do some clarification cards. Try and get this on. There we are. Okay, I'm going to do some clarification cards now. When I pick this up, the card on the bottom is this. This is smoke and mirrors. This is when people are being conned. The sleight of hand of the magician. The media, when they lie and they present propaganda, this is the card that is relevant to that. So it's interesting that that should be on the bottom of the pack. I'm going to shuffle more. Okay, so I want a clarification card for the Queen of Pentacles, please. I'm not sure what that one's there for, but it'll be there for a reason. Clarification card for the Queen of Pentacles, please. I'm going to shuffle 3 more times. Cards flip out if you need to flip out. I'm going to cut now. Clarification cards, 3 clarification cards for the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. We've got the King of Wands here. Right, okay. The Moon. Oh my gosh, the Moon. Secrets. The Moon and the High Priestess totally connect together. And the Moon also refers to, can be a card that refers to people passing over, dying. So, for the sake of truth and integrity, there's definitely a strong alliance of people now who want truth, and they want the truth exposed for the sake of truth and integrity. And this little cat here is intuition, represents intuition. It's intuition that the Fool uses, and his what's the word? The knowledge he's gained from his life journey and his incarnations. Okay, so we've got that, and then the next one is, yeah, I'm seeing it from the opposite direction to the way that we were told to see it. This ties in with this Temperance. See, the water gets poured upside down, then it gets poured into here, and then it's tapped back upside down again, and it's being poured. And people are going to be given the information that they need in order to start realizing and seeing it from a different angle and expanding their awareness. See, he's got his awareness, the angel, the wisdom and awareness developing here. I'm going to switch this off for 8 minutes. I'm going to come back on in a minute.